It's the planet of garbage, where we talk about films, just like every other podcast out there. Let's talk about a movie, maybe something close to your heart. We can break it down and really celebrate the art. Maybe it's something stupid, but in a funny way. It doesn't really matter, I just want to talk about movies every day. It's the planet of garbage, where we talk about films, just like every other podcast out there. If you've got any better ideas, I'm open to them. Until then, let's continue to drown in capitalism.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Planet of Garbage. It's always a challenge when I say the word garbage and then I present you with a movie that is kind of not garbage, at least in my opinion. But for this movie, I've brought on today's guest, my old friend Dennard Dayle from the East Coast days, from New York. How you doing?
I am doing great, and I'm really happy to be a minor moon on the planet of garbage here. You know, really messing with the gravity, giving sailors a hard time.
Hell yeah. It's always tidal waves and chaotic, world-ending weather on the planet of garbage.
Yeah, and
one more moon. We always got room for one more moon.
And I feel
more
pretty lucky.
Trash in the typhoons.
And I do feel pretty lucky about the film pick. Sometimes you're going on a podcast and you look at the core media and just think, what do I say about this? But this one kind of generates chatter.
Yeah, it does. You've probably made the connection. My intentions here, because you have a book out. It's been a while, but it's still worth promoting because it's a great book and I like it. And people I recommend it to seem to like it as well.
I really appreciate that. Yeah, this is the most natural plug I have ever gotten to do or ever will do. Do we introduce the movie yet, or?
No, let's introduce your book first.
All right, so I wrote a book called How to Dodge a Cannonball. I think it's pretty great, and the paperback actually just came out, so it even looks like we are accidentally timely here. I am not that well organized.
Perfect. This
This was not my master plan, but the paperback did just come out, and that is, it turns out, the format people actually buy books in. So enjoy How to Dodge a Cannonball in new, consumable, carryable, affordable format.
Yeah.
Hardcover.
Now that the collectors have all left the room, let's talk about the real readers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talk about paperbacks.
Talk about paperbacks.
You also did a really good audiobook version too. I can't remember the name of the actor you got, but he killed it. And some of the people that I recommended it to went audiobook, and they were like, dude, this is amazing.
That guy was a miracle. They had us, I will always remember, they have the whole auditioning thing, you listen to the samples and you're supposed to rank everyone, and I did rank them, and a lot of the backups were good, but when I heard him, I kind of wrote in, please him or I will fall on my samurai sword. Because he...
And just so people who aren't familiar, what's that?
Because he had it just so down pat, yeah.
No, he slayed it. And for people who haven't heard of the book yet, it's I would call it a comedy, right? It's a comedy.
Yeah, that is a totally accurate way of describing it. It's a comedy set during the first U.S. Civil War, and it follows a incredibly and in some ways rightfully confused teenager who ends up on many sides of it and more sides of it than he might have anticipated would exist.
I like that it's the first Civil War too. we're due for a sequel, just like this movie we talk about today.
Yeah, you can feel the rising action in some ways. It's, a little more organized a build than today's movies build towards its sequence of events, but you could say that about almost any build, I think.
It's what's surprising to me about the sequel to the Civil War is that the people you wouldn't expect seem to want it the most, or maybe I would suspect. I don't know. It's really hard to, because I'm like, hey, I'm down with society the way it is. We just need to make some things a couple changes, just a couple changes. And they're like, no, war. It's like, whoa, dude, like, calm down.
It is kind of
you already own everything. Now you want to go to war too? Jesus, how bored are we?
Incredibly bored. You just the Great American Suicide as a bit. It is kind of a historical recurring punchline that the people with the least to gain from any kind of entropy or warfare or invasion will say, this sounds great. I'm ready to fill my weekend. Let's go. I don't see how.
Yeah.
As the person winning this game, I think we should flip the game board.
Yeah, and it will just take the weekend, right? Because that's all I booked.
That's all I looked at. And look, I'm just saying that as a Russian or German noble, this war sounds great. Let's kill it. Let's go. And
right, let's go. So it's funny. Like, this is only the second time I've had you on the podcast, to my regret. The first time we talked about Sinners, and I was like, I want to, have Dennard back on and help plug his book. And so I was like, what's a good movie that could be relatable to that? And the only thing I could think of is something I couldn't want to talk about less, which was Glory. It's like, yeah, there's a very famous shot. Have you seen Glory?
I, like a lot of people around our sort of bracket, saw it in middle school, which is a fascinating time to see that many bodies fall over at once in class.
That's exactly when I saw it. They showed it in history. They're like, we're just going to do today. We're going to watch this movie that claims to be fact. And then upon several rewatches, I'm like, is it though?
There's some stylized elements here. Like, is Christopher Nolan's Odyssey going to be in a history class? It's got.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. The giants of the Odyssey are slightly more believable to me than the chill coolness of Matthew Broderick's Colonel.
Yeah, it's
so understanding of the plight of the black man. It's just incredible to watch. And it's just a movie that hasn't aged very well at all. It's like very much like a savior movie. You see a lot of your favorite Academy Award-winning actors being whipped and beaten. It's just
it feels a bit.
I was like, I don't want to do that.
It feels a bit like, and I'm not going to drag us all the way into it, but I remember, because of dating and alcohol, seeing The Help.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels almost like the action edit of The Help.
It's true. Like The Help with more cannonball explosions.
Yeah. Which, to be fair, that is fourth on the list of things I would do to improve The Help. There are some higher priorities, but top 5.
Cannonball explosions.
Yeah.
So you could see how on paper this does seem like the right movie to talk about, and like in relation to your book, it's Civil War. There's a cannonball. The guy fails to dodge very, very famously. Like, his head is pulp. We were shocked when we saw that in class. We're like, yo, that guy's head is liquid now. That's crazy that you're showing this to us.
I am going to learn nothing about this war. I am talking about this head after class.
So yeah, but so that's on paper. In practice, it sucks. I don't want to do that. It's not fun.
Mm-hmm.
There's better ways we can spend our time. So I presented you with something slightly less sensible on paper, but probably way more fun to talk about, which was the 1984 sequel to Cannonball, Cannonball Run. It's Cannonball Run 2. Now,
there are so many free radicals moving around every 3 minutes in this movie. And you can talk about the director's improvisational style, but that can only account for so much chaos.
It's chaos at its best. So had you seen either Cannonball Run movie before? before this?
So this week was my first direct full-length exposure to Cannonball Run or Cannonball Run 2. And I did decide, you're an adult, do your due diligence. I did watch the first one first before I even touched
good.
the one we're watching.
I was going to ask.
Because I wanted...
There's continuity, you know? It's they do callbacks.
Yeah, there are bits that fly back, bits that are slightly changed, bits they do not change at all, like Jackie Chan is still Japanese in this one, as the most famously Chinese person, I think.
Oh, yeah. And he's speaking Chinese. Like, he's not even trying to be Japanese. You
always have to imagine the scenery is kind of made of, like, rapidly moving cardboard as far as the reality here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's, so that's kind of how, when I was growing up and these movies were just on replay on television, 2 was the first one I ever saw. I know it was called 2, but I was just like, I don't even know where to find the first one. Like, unless you go to the video store and look for it, it wasn't in rotation because it was an older movie. So that's just not how licensing works. They want the newest one. So I didn't even know what happened in the first one. So
I'm still not 100% sure what happened in the first one.
Yeah, the first one is a weird movie. It's I talked about it that's why we started with 2, because we've already discussed it on the podcast previously. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that was the first time I actually really sat down, just kind of like you, in its entirety and watched one. Like, I'd seen bits and pieces of it, but I was like, wow, let me just really wrap my head around this movie. And I'm like, what in the fuck is going on here? This is
like, there are delirious choices that I cannot blame on white powder here.
Yeah. This is just all for the love of the game. Like, and this is like, this time period was very much all about these sort of all-star cast madcap comedies. Like, the word madcap doesn't exist anymore. It was like purely a late 70s, early 80s thing where everyone's sort of like caricaturized on the poster art, you know, and like cartoon renderings.
Is the last movie we genuinely made in this ilk? Like, I know there was that, I can't remember the name of that 30s movie, but it's also a setup of everyone just running after money. That's like the madcap comedy.
I think it's just Mad World,
classic.
Right? Is
Mad
that
World,
one?
that's it, yeah. Is the last movie we did in this whole thread Rat Race?
I think Rat Race was like definitely a throwback, sort of homage to this specific type of movie. And I think Rat Race is the last one. I cannot think of anything else like in the vein of madcap.
And I'm almost left wondering what that would look like today. Like, would it just be Zendaya making a wacky face while Michael B. Jordan is running around on fire or something?
Probably.
And it is.
Is Hal Needham still alive? Hold on, let me just double check. We need to tap Hal Needham again.
You know, it would be.
Let's see. Oh no, he died in 2013. He's been gone for a long time.
Life and death doesn't stop everything in Hollywood now, though. You know, is there a directing version of Carrie Fishering someone? Like, can we get someone's directorial tendencies into something? Can we train a Hal Needham AI to callously put people's lives in danger endanger lives? Can it be horny in a very confusing way where everyone gestures towards sex but doesn't have much of it?
Right, and a lot of the characters might be gay or not. Like, we're not sure, but they are dealing with it in poor taste. Rest assured.
Rest assured that whether they are or are not, you will not walk away inspired on that front.
Yeah. Well, so this movie starts off pretty hardcore. We're introduced to the Sheik, who I guess his family sponsors the races, but he lost in the last film, and it has put his family's name to shame because their royal reputation is speed. We have the fastest boats, the fastest camels. And now that and he makes this gross gesture that's supposed to be oil, but it's like kind of weirdly sexual. He's like, and ever since we have the fastest cars. This is not a racist impression that I'm doing, because I'm doing an impression of Ricardo Montalban.
Yeah, this is a
doing an
impression
of an Arab
impression.
Sheik.
And the thing that it kind of struck me, this is where I kind of felt proud of myself for doing that bit of prep of one, because I was thinking, okay, if there is one joke that they are not going to continue, and you're not going to fake me out on this one, because I know you're doing that Jackie Chan thing again, because you cannot let Jackie Chan out of your franchise. So that's definitely coming
right.
back.
He's contractually obligated to show up again, apparently.
Yeah. But they are, but in my head, I'm going, this Sheik thing, they're going to make that sort of, teeth kissing sound and go, okay, maybe not that one. And I am wrong every time. I am a consistently wrong man. If I was on Polymarket, I would be out in the streets by now.
You're like, okay, this time I cannot lose. I lost again.
I lost again. That is their opening volley. They're going right for that.
Why does this keep happening to me?
Why does it keep happening? I just keep betting on human dignity. It just keeps not coming out.
Yeah, it's a bad bet. It's the wrong bet every time. So yeah, the Sheik is going off on his son, Jamie Farr, who, to the film's credit, is of Middle Eastern descent. He's Lebanese. So he's not Arab, but it's not a total stretch in this case. But yeah. Ricardo Montalban is Spanish. So this is
a sprinkling of sanity in the casting, and it's almost weird to have it be weirder to have it be half right. Like one is and one isn't. I know you could have. Like you could, but it's also like for the time, they're like, how many recognizable faces can we stuff in here? And it's like, for this role of the Sheik, it's got to be somebody of a certain cut from a certain cloth. A Ricardo Montalban feels right, but how many other Arab, Middle Eastern descent actors of his caliber were there out there? Like, you just got to paint him brown a little bit, Yeah, that's true. Otherwise, they're gonna have to start sniping people from other fields. Like, here's this famous singer or contractor, and
yeah,
I mean, there's a bit of that later, but I shouldn't get ahead of us too much.
Right. And it's not, again, like you on the Dog Zone, they do this a lot. These like '80s shows where they have all these, they love doing this shit, getting just star-studded whatever. They always had those like rodeos where they'd like have shoot-offs and like do lasso stuff, but it was like TV stars, or just doing straight up like Olympic field days.
I guess
this movie feels like that. It's in that time.
It really does. I think it is like anti-anxiety medication for boardrooms. Like they just know there are so many names they have seen before in this, therefore there must be repeatable outcomes. Which they did not get with this movie's box office returns, from what I understand.
Right. Speaking of anti-anxiety, so the Sheik's problem is that he couldn't win the race in the last movie because he's got like crippling ulcers. So he's got it all figured out this time. Him and his white slave, Troy McClure. Fun fact, there's two people that inspired Doug McClure Troy McClure from The Simpsons is inspired by Doug McClure, who we're talking about, and then another guy who's like Troy something. So this is the guy. You see it in his face when he smiles. You're like, yeah, no, that's Troy McClure. Like,
this is half of the Troy McClure DNA. That's good information. I did not know that.
Yeah. So yeah, White Slave is part Troy McClure. His Doug McClure is his real name. I wonder if he knew that.
I think eventually the ersatz version of you has to, reach you by a letter or convention or someone asking if you can sue for royalties or something. Like eventually.
Right. I mean, he literally has your last name. It's you kind of got a good case.
That is true. That's true. Maybe
he seems like he might have a sense of humor about it. He's playing a white slave in this movie. Like he's there for the slapping.
He's there.
I think his name is Slapper. I think that's his character. Yeah, his character's name is Slapper.
I think the best brick joke in the movie is just when they point the guns at the Sheik and he just casually repoints it at his slave. Like all abuse goes to him. I enjoyed that.
And then the people pointing the gun are just like, oh yeah, sorry, my mistake.
Yeah,
like
them going along with it did sell that for me. That was a nice comic instinct. And you never know which way a cannonball skit is gonna go. So when things work, you gotta enjoy that.
This is So we get into that's the setup. The Sheik is gonna host the next Cannonball Run. He's putting his own money up on the line, $1 million for the winner of the whoever gets from California to Connecticut first. And it turns out all the space between California and Connecticut is mostly desert, mostly the same stretch of desert.
Just really three looped sets are the only biome between all of these states. They have the same cop uniform.
I love when they start. So like 3/4 of the movie takes. They're like the end of the movie is in Vegas, so they're not even out of Vegas yet. And then for the rest of the movie, they're like, well, we got to get to Connecticut. It cuts to a cartoon map of like an Indiana Jones like arrow just kind of tracing around the rest of America. It's like, yep, that's how we handle that.
They did not
no more biomes.
Want to stop gambling with their famous friends while making this movie.
That's 100% what it was. They're like, we can't leave Vegas yet. We're on a roll.
Yeah, they are chasing.
We got Sinatra here. We got Mr. Vegas.
They are chasing breaking even on this.
It's one of those movies where they're like, hey, take some petty cash. Just go put it on a craps table. We could make our money back that way.
It's like, just stay enough in the neighborhood of sober that you can read this line when it comes to you, or come up with something we find entertaining. We're freewheeling it here. We're Cannonball Run 2.
Slap Dom DeLuise. He's used to it. That's what he's here for.
And whatever you do, don't agitate the monkey for real.
Oh my God. When that monkey showed up and it just started slapping people, I'm like, now, when I was a kid, this was cute. As an adult, I'm like, no, these things will rip your face off. Like, literally, that's what they do. Like, they'll just, after we've seen, Nope, the whole thing with Nope, it's like, yeah, that's what happens. These are wild animals.
The entire time I was just imagining, just incidents like a Vegas magician and a tiger as I just stare at this monkey.
Yeah.
That whatever.
Yeah, slapping Don Knotts in the head. Like, wow. Kissing him. Could have bit his lips right off there.
Yeah, and I look at this and I wonder, am I seeing the original cast? Like, did they lose anyone to this monkey or a previous less cooperative monkey?
They're like, Don, man, I hate to do this, but I got to call in a favor. One of our CHIPS officers, his entire head is gone. We need you, buddy.
Hey,
we need that old Don Knotts magic. How are you with monkeys?
So look, Don, right now Roger Moore is in ICU after getting monkeyed.
He's not going to be in the rest of the movie. We're going to have to rewrite you're going to have to write his character out, in fact. So apparently Roger Moore regretted not coming back after he heard that Frank Sinatra was in this one.
Oh, he didn't want to get upstaged?
No, he didn't want to do it again because he thought that the joke of his character had run its course. He's like, you're not going to keep making the same joke that I'm like a fake James Bond. So he like opted to not return, but then he heard Frank Sinatra was in the movie and he was like, God damn it, I would have loved to have met him.
That makes sense. That makes sense. And he has a decent comic instinct there. I do not know how many more inches of life were left in that joke. For example,
he was correct.
For example, there was just not life left in the 2 jumpsuit girls.
Right. I can't believe they brought back, and they're different girls. It's like the same characters, but it's different actors.
It is one of the more conspicuous recastings I've seen in a while. Yeah.
I think it's probably the same reason. The people were like, you're going to do that again? Like, why? Like, Adrienne Barbeau was like, you've seen enough of my tits. I know why you want me to come back here.
I've got the whole unzip thing down to a muscle memory thing that I am not comfortable with anymore. I want to explore other directions for my career.
Catherine Bach was like, say what? Oh, yeah, I get to cover my legs. Yeah, so that actually brings us to the title sequence. So we cut from the Chic to this Lambo, white Lambo, burning down this stretch of Roadrunner set that we are going to see the rest of the movie.
It is promising a lot of velocity that we are not going to maintain throughout this film.
We're not going to get, we get a pretty, funky disco expository theme song though. The Cannonball Run theme song, I think from the first movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are proud of that theme. I enjoy their energy for it. I'm glad they make a short film around it each time. That, again, it's a check that they cannot cash, but they just wave it proudly and say, yeah, start a tab.
And there's a lot of VO because it's just chase sequence now. So they run up on a cop and the cops are like, oh, we got a real wise guy behind us. Let's see how ballsy they really are. Slow down. And then, they blow right past them.
But when it comes to these cops, I got these wise guys. They love using the line, and they look great, or something to that effect. Like 2 great-looking chicks, I think was the line. It's a couple of
great-looking chicks. Yeah. And every cop they encounter, because they encounter several. They outrun one, and they got the APB out on them, so everyone's looking for them. Every time they see him, it's like, and it's a couple of great-looking chicks. Let us remind you.
And it's like everyone is from the same new frat.
Yeah.
And they have they have this reputation that they want to build, but they have touched nothing. And it is a very odd movie sexually. I almost loop back around to finding it funny in a zoo kind of way.
Yeah. It's almost like, no, we still want kids to watch this movie though. So we'll do a lot of implication, but we're not going to like show you nipple, you know.
Listen. We have a strategy. We want to have this cake and we want to eat it too. So while we will have the soul of a Euro trip, we will have the body of a Roadrunner.
Yes, very much. And I loved it. It worked. Whenever this movie came out, I was like, yeah, goofy comedy stuff. Let's go. With maybe the hint of titty. This movie does feel like it really could have benefited from some full frontal. I
think because it is clearly so desirous of it.
Yeah.
Like it's this unfulfilled desire hovering over it.
Right. So this feels like this is their training montage. So if we're doing like a blood sport, this is like, you know, when we're shown that the different fighters, like, you know, breaking blocks of ice and, you know, chopping coconuts.
Yeah, it's like,
but like less racist than blood sport somehow. And so they're like training by trying to outrun all the cops in the area. And then they have a moment where they peel off the road and this like random work crew with a power washer like hits the car, like,
oh man, the spray and pray.
It's like a light coat of white paint. Yeah, to spray and pray it, and it's real sexual in nature. You know, there's like, thanks for the facial, boys. They don't say that literally, but it's definitely.
But figuratively, like, it's in the shot. It's in the line delivery. It's in the level that they hold the hoses at.
Yeah, absolutely. He's like, yeah, this is my dick. But yeah, they spray the white paint off it. Now it's a red Lambo. And I don't know, it's not really a good trick. They don't do like a GTA where their like wanted level goes down. They just immediately start antagonizing the next cop they see. And they're like, you're gonna think I've been drinking, but that white Lambo's a red Lambo now, and it's still got two great looking chicks.
It's like the same suspects are doing the same behavior in the same model of car.
Yeah.
So I think they are after our self-esteem. They are trying to grind this department's picture of itself into dust.
It works. They just stop. They're like, I think we're ready for the Cannonball Run. Like, end of training montage.
Yep. It's a montage that really gives you the impression that they're going to be in the movie.
You fool. But yeah, this is Catherine Bach, who is Daisy Duke from the original Dukes of Hazzard. So for young boys who are boner enthusiasts, this is a big sighting.
I see she escaped typecasting.
Yeah. They knew what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, then we cut to Burt Reynolds. This is him. This is J.J. McClure's. They love the name McClure, I guess. So this is J.J. McClure.
Yeah, it's part of our foundation here.
And we get in his buddy Dom DeLuise's Victor. Is that his name? It's Victor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Victor.
Yeah, got JJ and Victor.
Yeah, so they're running I guess it's a hustle. I don't know. They're always up to something. They're always trying to make some money. So they got this human bomb thing cooked up.
The human bomb thing is funny.
DeLuise is just
in that.
It's funny. It's a good bit.
Yeah.
Dom DeLuise is inside the bomb, and he's going to get dropped onto a target by a World War II fighter pilot. And, JJ's got to gas him up. He's very nervous. He's got to make him feel comfortable. And he suggests maybe it'd be easier if for him to do it. If you watch the first film, you know that Victor has a personality disorder.
Yep.
So he's got Captain Chaos living inside his body, ready to emerge.
For half of the first film, I did enjoy the implication that they were just talking about God when they said him.
Right. That would have been better.
Yeah, just
like
a faithful
religious.
Sikh. It could have even come back with some of the nun stuff here. But yeah, it is Captain Chaos. Victor is in a very odd place in this film where the Captain Chaos cat is out of the bag.
Yeah, it was a reveal in the first movie.
And we now know that in all of his interactions with his best friend, he's just thinking in the back of his head, is he going to go full butters on me this time? Or are we going to have a normal breakfast?
Right. So JJ steps away and he just goes to check in on the news broadcast. And the news broadcaster's like, the person who's going to do this human bomb stuff will become the most famous person in the world. Everyone's going to love him. He'll be rich. And so JJ starts to get the idea that maybe he should be the one to do it.
This gag.
He goes back to the bomb and Captain Chaos is already there. He's ready to go. What were we gonna say?
Let's get a bit further. Let's get to the punch of this one, I think, before I add this. Yeah.
So Captain Chaos is there, ready to do his thing, and JJ just goes like, why? Maybe I should do it. I kind of love the flip. Captain Chaos is like, I'm brave. I'm the one to do it. Then he's like, switch places with me. He goes, be my guest. Just immediately.
Yeah, nice little who's on first switch there. It's a fun. But he overhears the whole thing of like, there are so many women and piles of money for the person who gets shot out of this cannon.
Yeah. And then he gets taken into the air by the World War II pilot, who ends up being he's actually German, so that's the implication that he's a Nazi.
Yep, just
always a fun implication.
He's just the kind of guy that's normally chilling around Argentina at this age. He's doing stunt shows.
He's just trying to lay low. Yeah, getting wasted and doing stunt shows. This is a guy, Artie Johnson, from the old show Laugh-In. I think there's a lot of Laugh-In DNA in this movie.
I did not know that. That's interesting.
The Laugh-In was like the sort of, was it pre-SNL? I think it was pre-SNL. It was a variety show.
Yeah, I think it's like in the DNA of like most sort of live sketch shows.
Like the reruns would show up on those like Nick at Night or whatever, those like vintage channels. I caught a couple episodes. I was like, yeah, this is mostly annoying to me. I don't think this comedy has like
immortal,
has aged well. Yeah, it's not. It's definitely mortal. It's
I was
it's in hospice right now.
Very fascinated by their intern fascination with the existence of the pill, which makes sense. It's new. It changes the calculus for a lot of weekends,
right?
But every other joke is like a celebration or repudiation or musing on the pill, and I just wonder, you could edit this almost into a concept thing, just a flow of jokes about the pill. You change the mood.
All pill comedy. The Pill Channel.
The Pill Channel. Oh man, that would have more unfortunate implications now, that name.
Oh yeah. So yeah, he gets dropped, and he gets a little physical comedy bit here. He gets bounced around. It's not a smooth landing, and he for the most part though, he seems okay.
It is almost the movie's signal that reality is going to be a bit wobblier than in one.
Right. We're going to be a little more Looney Tunes than the first one for sure.
Yeah.
And
it's kind of where, in my head, I guess, I realized I was almost watching this in the wrong format, because I kind of think this kind of movie is the ideal Insomnia Cinemax run-in. Like, Cinemax has the reputation for erotic and all that, all important to their margins. But I think the real root is these odd things that you would not catch or finish otherwise.
Right. It's almost like an airplane film.
Yeah.
Like the sort of in-flight movie vibe. Like, I guess I'll watch this. It's 3 a.m. and it's on Cinemax. Like, there's not going to show titties. I guess I'll watch this thing instead.
It's okay. This neighborhood isn't quite nice enough for me to like take a walk at 3 a.m. So yeah, we'll hit this up.
Yeah. We'll do a Cannonball Run marathon. So yeah, it doesn't work out. They're not happy with the results. They get it, but they got the invite to the Cannonball Run, so they're done with the bomb thing. They're gonna go make money, winning the race. Mm-hmm. And we cut to a Godfather scene where Dom DeLuise is playing another character. He's playing a fake Godfather. He's petting a cat. He's got the lip filler. He's doing his thing.
It is so interesting to see just the contemporaneous parody of The Godfather.
Right. Yeah, because this was like, I guess the third one had probably come out around this time.
Yeah. And
so it was pretty fresh.
All the jokes I, until now have gotten for the Godfather have been like sort of hindsighty, or there's a bit of remove, so there's that pressure of we've done a lot of these, and it's kind of interesting to see like a straight across the bow. Okay, I don't know, he pets the cat, he's got the mustache. What else we got, guys? I think we're good. We can ship this, cut and print it. We got it.
Yeah. Cat's dead. That was kind of a funny bit. He's like petting this cat. He's like, this cat's dead. It's just stiff as a board. Somebody give me another one. They just bring him one right away. Oh, that's nice.
But
yeah, he's got a son. Go ahead.
You kind of had an interesting kind of flow watching these where I almost stop scrutinizing each individual joke, just sort of wait for the one that hits me.
Right. It's kind of how you have to do it. This is where the film tries to set up some sort of stakes, and they're dubious at best. So Dom DeLuise's Godfather character has a son, Don Cannelloni, and he's also a Don, so he's Don. That's just the joke. Mm-hmm. They're just like, it's funny that it's two names that are, one's a name and one's a title. but it's the same.
I do suspect that the entire mafia as a whole are kind of a mistake in this movie.
Yeah, it does feel kind of tacked on.
They just don't really have the juice, so to speak. And by so to speak, I just mean the expression, They don't have the juice.
They don't have the juice. I guess the issue here is that Don owes money to other people. So he's like, I need to send these goons out, this fleet of goons to go straighten out my boy, Don. And when they get to him, they're kind of bullying him too. Like these thugs that his dad sent are like maybe ranked above him. So they're kind of threatening him. And it's like, I guess this is the first time where I'm like, I guess this is supposed to be a gay guy. Like, is that the implication that he's like kind of a sissy? Like,
yeah, they're leaning on that really hard, but they're almost afraid of it too. It's a lot like the sort of floozy gags throughout the rest of the film. I think that they are orbiting without touching. Okay, they do touch the gay joke, but they are, and it would not be a better movie if they were more enthusiastic about it. But it's very, I don't know, opaque, I guess.
Yeah, it's opaque. He's swishy. He's like, I'm into tailored clothes and jewelry, and so it's like we'll inject it with some stereotypes without outright saying that this is a gay guy, but that's sort of implied to be why he's such a disappointment to the mob. He's not tough enough to be mafia, so these goons have to straighten him out and help him settle his debts. And one of them is money owed to them by Fenderbaum, which is Sammy Davis Jr.'s character from the first movie, which I guess is another sort of fourth wall breaking joke, because they read his name like Fenderbaum, like this is a Jewish name, but that's clearly not a Jewish man. But I guess I
think the fourth wall is the first object to get a car through it in this movie.
Yes, absolutely, right into the audience's lap. But yeah, I guess Sammy Davis Jr. he's Jewish in real life, right? Is that if I'm not mistaken, that's the joke they're making?
I think so. Again, everything with the mob, it feels like they're almost trying to reinvent the tempo of the movie at the same time. And I get the idea of setting things up, but I guess it's because this is a world where how things work is already kind of clear to me. You could really almost start at the opening line like a Wacky Racers thing. This is basically the PG-13 like Wacky Racers, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I guess every setup thing or main plot thread development thing, I'm just looking at like, what are you doing? What's Snidely? Let me see Snidely Whiplash. I want to know what he's up to. Where's my boy Muttley?
Yeah.
Come on, my investment cannot be raised or sunk here. You can only put other things in front of me that I'm not as interested in.
Right. Yeah, the first movie it was just like the heroes and the antagonists were just racers. So this is new for this franchise to inject sort of a non-racer element to this to the stakes here. So these guys are on the case. They're going to go collect money from Sammy Davis Jr. $30,000. In the meantime, we go back to the Lambo girls. Their shit's broken down. This is a thread. This is a reoccurring bit. They just beat a car to death, and then they're stranded on the side of the road until they hitchhike until somebody else comes along who has a car they want, and then they promise that person that the time of their life that they'll never forget.
Yeah, everyone else seems to be in sort of, one of those lighter, like, Game Boy Driver kind of games, just running from place to be.
Yeah.
And they are in full-on Vice City mode, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, they're just stealing cars from these, like, horny dudes. Which, good on them.
Good on them. Like, replace every gun in Vice City with cleavage, and even though I guess Vice City already had, whatever. And you sort of have these two stick.
Yeah, they got a real broken jailbroken gameplay loop going on here.
Yeah.
The first guy that pulls up and he's like, "You ladies need a hand?" And she's like, "Is this thing stock?" And he's like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Take a hike," because they don't want just consumer level ass bullshit. What they're gonna steal a car, it's gonna have like some work done on it. So the next car pulls up and
it's like, we're only gonna debase ourselves for custom material. It has to be able to drift.
Yeah, exactly.
We want those
and they
neon
get one,
highlights.
they get another mark, this kind of cowboy. And they're always promising them like, a three-way. That's always the implication here is that they're gonna bang these dudes. And they never do. It's just the next time we see him, there is no guy, and the car is broken down. So we cut to the Mitsubishi plane flying in. This is the Japanese company with a high-tech supercar with their most trusted pilots inside. And as they're flying in, the guy's like, I just got off the horn with customs. They're going to want to impound this for a couple days. You're going to miss the race.
And in the peak of realism in the film, the CEO says, I don't like the sound of that law. Is there something we could do that endangers a bunch of employees instead?
And nearby civilians as well.
Of course. That almost goes without saying. They would find a way to endanger them even if they went through customs.
Just start firing a gun wildly into the crowd. Yeah, they land the plane in the middle of the street, and they do a sweet in motion off ramp from the plane. From their cool Mitsubishi, and it's Jackie Chan and Richard Kiel, Jaws from Moonraker.
Richard Kiel
and other things, but he's Jaws.
He is way more fun than you would expect in this position.
Absolutely. He's Jackie Chan's sort of comic sidekick.
And there's
Jackie Chan's just being he's just a normal Chinese guy who does some fighting. Richard Kiel does everything. He does all the talking and all the joking.
And I love the impression that someone that has just as distinctive, he's this huge bulking former Minion guy, like you say, just does all this normal stuff while Jackie is still a maniac. He just handles all non-maniac functions.
Yeah. But he's still also a threat. They have a weird dynamics. They'll get into trouble and everyone's like, well, out of the two of you, I'd rather fight Jackie Chan. It's like, no, but that's the wrong choice because he's actually going to kick your ass. But also, I will throw you into outer space. There's no good choice with these guys. Their dynamic is strange. They're both the lethal weapon.
Clearly,
they're both a Mel Gibson.
The right choice is to put on the parachute and go for Richard, and just hope that mid-atmo you can ease your landing and just bomb down.
Yeah, just have that parachute ready to go when you engage. But yeah, it's a cool intro. And so I think in the first movie when they introduced Jackie Chan, it's a Japanese company. I think that to the first movie's credit, I think they're Chinese, superstar Jackie Chan is going to be driving the car. So I think they do distinguish that. They're not this is just he's Japanese, who cares,
Yeah, I mean, otherwise I think the movie would be basically a rally. So yeah, they had to sort of insert that line in there.
This movie didn't do any of that work. They're just you saw the first one, right? And I was I guess, I don't know, is this guy Japanese? What's going on here?
So yeah, do you want to take take the 30 seconds there, or nope, just dropping him off the cliff? And I really enjoy Jackie here and I also enjoy him in probably whatever the worst movies ever did is. What is that? Was there a sequel to Tuxedo or something? But
there must have been, yeah.
But he's fun here. He's spiritually incapable of half-assing anything, really. So
and he's just got that infectious youthful smile that he used to have. That's been turned into pure leather at this point. Scar tissue and leather.
It's just scar tissue and sun disappointment.
Yeah. Yeah. I will not help him. Google Jackie Chan's son if you want to have a fun time.
It's a real heartwarming relationship. Just in Time for Fathers.
Just typical psycho billionaire shit. Then we get our Rat Pack intro. So we got Sammy Davis Jr. is he wants to recruit Dean Martin, his driver from the first movie. No, again, we get no work done here, but in the first movie, Dean Martin was a retired race car driver. He actually has qualifications for this that you would not know if you started with this movie.
It is the oddest premise for a Cannonball Run cast member to be qualified in any way, shape, or form to race.
Right. Yeah, I feel silly even to do it. Is Dom DeLuise qualified to race? I don't...
Yeah.
It is definitely not a prerequisite. Yeah, I think Dean Martin impressively did his own drinking stunts. Pretty sure he's just fucking shit-faced this entire movie.
His own drinking stunts.
Yeah, he was not using
that one made my soul smile. Thank you.
He's slurring his words. I don't know if it's old age or if he's just, he's numb with the spirits. But yeah, he's never without a drink in his hand. And
he just thought it would add some color to his character if he was always red.
Yeah, always red and real wet. He is just the shiniest, moistest boy I think I've ever seen. But yeah, he and they have a little reunion here. They do some physical comedy with a a sight gag with a window washing thing. It's really not worth going into. It's whatever. But he's in. You know, they're gonna win $1 million, so he's in. He's in. For the race.
If Cannonball Run 2 has a main weakness, it's a probably, well, I guess a belly dancing drag joke later. But if it has a second weakness, it's sort of transitions.
Yeah, the transitions are rough.
It's just a movie trying to get to itself, and I almost want to say, it's okay. You don't have to tell me a story. I'm here for race sketches, man. It's okay. I believe in you.
I'm here for wacky races. Just give me more wacky races.
It's like, what's Muttley up to?
From here, I think we go back to the Sheik. So we're just like slowly making our way through like everyone who's driving and their sort of driving gimmick, their situation. And the Sheik's situation is he's hired the doctor, Van Helsing from the first movie, the sort of wild-eyed quack who just will inject whatever into whoever at any time. This is Jack Ellum. He's just so
he
great.
was a comic heavy for like half the first flick.
Yeah. And I'll stand on that. Everything he does is gold. He makes me so happy. He's just such a goon, like just such a supernatural creep.
He carries the idea that this man should not have survived this long doing what he does.
Right.
In a fun way.
He almost has like a Lovecraftian protagonist insanity about him, you know, because later on he's trying to describe a woman, but he's like, the way he's describing it is like Odyssean almost. It's just, she stood there, the cat, the sweet cat person. Like, it's almost creepy. And I love him so much. So I'm glad he's back.
He describes a woman a way that no one has talked about a human being that they want to sleep with or be near in human history.
Right. Exactly. Like, no, someone's in danger here, clearly, right? That's what I'm getting from this description. He's great. He's like, again, he's just like sticking needles in people, you know, in a way that doesn't make sense. He's just full on eating mouthfuls of shaving cream, calling it dessert. Like, he's great. He's doing the most.
It looks like a wonderful time, like that entire role he does.
Yeah.
It's Dr. Van Helsing, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's Dr. Van Helsing. Yeah. Nicholas Van Helsing. And
nice.
Yeah, so he's the Sheik and everybody are headed to the pre-race bar where they're all going to hang out before the race. And speaking of race, we get a little racism from the bartender trying to serve Jackie Chan.
Oh yes, the racism is it's like an EKG, you know, machine beep in this movie. Just like kicks in every few seconds.
Yeah, just a little bit. And there's also some comeuppance here, though, so I'm not mad at it. The bartender doesn't understand Jackie Chan, which, fair enough. He doesn't speak English. He's speaking very fast Cantonese. So, and the bartender's like, "What? I don't speak your language, pal." Okay, yeah, whatever. I'll get you a hot sake. You know, that's his racist sort of conclusion to this interaction. And then Richard Kiel comes over and puts a bag of nuts on the counter and has Jackie Chan chop it open. And then he corrects him. I can't remember what he said, but it wasn't hot sake.
But he says like an actual drink, and the bartender's like, okay, I want to keep my body in one thing.
Yeah, very good, sir. And again, Richard Kiel is 90 feet tall, but also Jackie Chan just exploded a bag of nuts with a chop. So it's like, damn, was it Richard Kiel that convinced me, or the promise of being sliced in half by this smiling Asian man? Like, I better just get the drinks. Like, I don't know what's worse.
I mean, they have the nice recurring bit of just, oh wow, both types of ass beating are here in front of me.
Speed or strength? Which one do you want? I think you're right, though. The Jackie Chan one's the worst because he'll kick you 1,000 times. And they're all going to hurt, but it's also like you probably won't get knocked out. So you're just going to experience it all, like a hyperbaric time warping chamber or something.
And at least your ego, you're talking to your various toxically masculine friends later.
Yeah.
It tells you there's like an excuse for the Richard thing, whereas the Jackie Chan, it's like he was just better.
Yeah.
And it hurts.
You just have to lie and say like, I got thrown into outer space by that giant. Like, okay, that makes sense, bro. You know, it happens to all of us.
It was cold. It was cold that I was fighting Jackie Chan.
So yeah, there's like some more of that, you know, skating the edge of sexy stuff. Cause, Burt Reynolds just like wants to get laid. That's all. He's just complaining about it. And then Dom DeLuise is like, me too. And he's like, really? And it's like, he's like, I'm not a eunuch. And I'm like, I don't think he thinks you're a eunuch. I think he thinks you're gay. It's again, though, I cannot tell. I can't tell what they're going. Is he a child? Like, that's scary because he has like
essentially be a thing where he's just off center of every like sort of stereotypical, I don't know, man's man kind of interest.
Yeah. But yeah, that sort of left me sometimes being like, maybe he's supposed to be just like a baby. Like, he's too innocent for this world, and that's why he has to create a fucking stronger alternate personality to hide behind. Like, is this a Shining situation? Like, what are we dealing with here?
We're meeting his representative, his stand. Yeah. And, we're in this party, and I'm rocking back and forth like, okay, we're almost wacky racing. I can feel it coming.
We're almost wacky racing, but the mob shows up again. They fucked that up. They go for Sammy Davis Jr., and he's like, no, we'll get the money because we're going to win this race. And he's like, only an idiot would sponsor a race like that. And then the Sheik comes in, and this is kind of funny. He looks down at all their shoes. They have guns, but he looks at their shoes. He's like, wingtips. He's like, unacceptable here. And he hands them just a cartoonish stack of cash and says, buy a better clothing store.
I liked the specific word he used. I think he did use barbarians for that.
Right. Barbarians. These guys, now the gears are spinning in their head now too. They're like, well, if we could get the money back this easy, they plot to kidnap this guy. They're going to steal the prize money, $1 million, and ransom the Sheik. So they're going to be a constant, like, they do kind of get into the wacky racist stuff because they'll end up with like a front bumper with claws on it and a helicopter with a giant magnet. Like, they full on.
Oh embrace. Yeah, they have plots and ploys. Yeah. They add a little Wile E. Coyote flavor to this wacky race.
Yeah, and it's like Abe Vigoda and Alex Rocco. These guys you're used to seeing as goofy mob types. So it's starting to work for me a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's when they hit this sort of exposition is not the right word, but kind of trying to move along the main storyline. They do hit a front stride. I do enjoy them crashing vehicles.
Oh yeah. They're a lot of fun while they're doing it. They're like, they get like, they turn into like whimpering babies whenever they're in danger. They're a lot of fun. But then we kind of throw another wrench in the thing. We go back to Don, and now it's revealed that he owes money to somebody, and it's Telly Savalas and his weird gang of like Telly Savalas cosplayers. Like, everyone's got to be bald like him.
Oh yeah, there's a whole debt inception thing.
Yeah.
I legitimately thought...
That's exactly what
I legitimately thought it was going to lead to him owing the Sheik money.
Right, just full circle debtception. Telly Savalas has also got like a henchman that I think is another Dom DeLuise character. Am I crazy? Like, there's a big bald guy in the back, and I think it's just Dom DeLuise again.
I'm astoundingly terrible with actors.
Okay. I'm going to say it is.
Like, we are lucky we did Sinners because you got Michael B. Jordan is this unavoidable, unforgettable presence.
And there's
90% of the time with actors, I go, I've just disappeared into movie magic.
Yeah, I have.
That's Minion 14.
That's a new guy. Yeah.
Yes.
You must be so obnoxious to talk to me and the rest of the hot dog people who remember like Asian stuntmen from fucking obscure movies. Like, that's Robert Zadar. What do you mean you don't know who he is?
I think it's nice to have a really good spread of insanity types in a just a general supergroup. So I think it's really, really helpful. Like, you guys can remember actor names, and I'll say, hey, what if I submerged myself in acid for 12 hours for one joke? Wouldn't that be kind of funny? And you say, what? And
I'm like, well, I'm not going to do that. So sure, we need a submerged acid guy in the gang, in the team.
And that's a spread of skills.
Yeah, absolutely. We got too many of one type, honestly.
But I get my own like nice corner though.
Yeah.
It really, really gives me that feeling of job security. So
yeah. You're like the really sort of like philosophical, almost Hannibal Lecter type on the team. Like. I was like, that's the smartest guy I could think of under pressure. I don't know. There's probably better smart guys out there. I'm not a thinker. I'm not the thinker of the group. So yeah, we jump to one of our final racers, which is Tony Danza and Mel from the first movie, who's like this kind of forgettable character. He's like a dude that stutters. Like, that's the bit. Yep. Guys with funny voices are a bit on their own, I guess. But they go to their uncle's car dealership to borrow a car so they can try to win the race. And he's got a promotional monkey, and
you could almost feel their uncle looking at their son going, "We're going to need to anchor this bid in something, boys.
Yeah.
This stutter is not going to carry you to the finish line."
You know what you need in all
now,
movies
I have
around this time period?
comedy saving throw.
A monkey. Yeah, comedy saving throw. I invoke the monkey cantrip.
The monkey is one of the purest expressions of the concept of HP to MP.
Yeah.
Because someone is getting mauled by this monkey.
Oh, yeah.
We might not see them. We might not hear about it. But each monkey represents strife in production.
Oh, yeah. This is this monkey has a name. It's Bobby Bersoni's orangutan.
Bobby Bersoni's orangutan.
Yeah. So that's who
I am learning.
He's like a Frankenstein's monster kind of thing. You know, he doesn't have his own name. He's Bobby Bersoni's monster.
That's great. I'm sure that Bobby Bersoni has a very healthy ego, and congratulations to Bobby Bersoni's orangutan for not tearing anyone apart on camera or in a central role.
At least letting us keep Tony Danza. Like that's yeah. Bobby Bersoni. This is Bobby Bersoni's parrot. This is Bobby Bersoni's albino boa constrictor. I'm going to look him up real quick. Bobby Bersoni.
The monkey as a saving throw is also kind of a funny thing because it's almost a sign saying, "I have no faith in Tony Danza's comedic ability." Give them the monkey. We kept the monkey around for the weakest link.
Okay. I can't find any pictures on Bobby Bersoni, but he has his IMDb page, and he is listed as choreographer orangutan stunts. So I can't tell if, like, he's Joan Rivers and Friends. He's credited as Bobby Bersoni self. I don't know if it is the monkey
on Joan
or if it's
Rivers
the guy.
and Friends.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
That's
here.
a great question. I guess that's why it's called Bobby Bersoni's orangutan. So then all these production credits goes, "You need a monkey, and you want to live. I'm your guy."
You call Bobby Bersoni. You understand? I'm your guy.
I have been training monkeys not to do their monkey instincts for years, and it works 63% of the time. Industry leading.
We haven't had a face rip since, well, last month, but that's, you know, it was a fresh start on a really good record. They've got so their whole gimmick is that they have a fake limo that this used car dealer bought for promotional purposes. It looks like the monkey's driving, but the actual driver steering the seat is in the sort of hidden compartment in the back where like the passenger would normally be. So these guys are riding around and they have to take the orangutan because it's a maniac and the dealership guy doesn't want it anymore. So they get in a big old throwdown. This guy probably died actually. Yep. This actor that was the used car salesman probably got his fucking nutsack ripped off and thrown against the window.
There's a chance, you know, he's just sort of had to have a few parts of him stapled back on.
Yeah. He's mostly stapled now.
Maybe he remembers it fondly, like, I got to be in Cannonball Run 2. I got to get a real taste of fame.
Yeah.
Though not much based on box office returns.
So those are our racers. I think the only new characters we get at this point is the nuns. There's a couple of nuns that are actresses that are playing nuns in some sort of, you know, stage play. They're on a break, but they're still in their nun outfit. And they go to a diner to eat they're on their lunch break. The nuns
feel like this indecision about where they're just gonna slam the Porsche team into the main set or copy paste them into this new team.
Right. Yeah. They're like, and we want to give Burt Reynolds someone to bang because that's in the contract now. I don't think he got to bang enough people, and he's really, you know, that's what he's here for.
If it doesn't happen in a script by like page 40, he starts getting really confused.
Yeah. He starts like looking around and he starts looking at Dom DeLuise real funny, and Dom's like, dude, somebody write some girls into this script right now. Like, he's only slapping me now, but I don't want to see how far he's willing to go.
Yeah, but Burt Reynolds has a quota on this business,
and it's Tanner and women. So, yeah, so he's got these nuns. They're doing this like hustle or this grift where they're like pretending to be real nuns because they just want a sugar daddy. Basically, they overhear the boys talking about the prize money, so they're going to New York. So that's what they want to be. They want to be on Broadway and they want money. So they're going to act like nuns with these boys.
A step more even confused than that, because they flat out start out as actresses.
Yeah.
That were doing a nun thing.
Yeah.
And then they, seizing the moment in the diner, start laying down their best nun game on these two guys, which, first off, credit to these two for having nun game, because that is the first time that sentence has been uttered in human history.
Yeah, they do have nun game, though. I would call it that. I co-sign that.
Improvised nun game, they're inventing a genre.
Yeah. And I think it's just, just an excuse to get Shirley MacLaine in the movie, because they had so much Rat Pack, and apparently she was part of that. So how do we get the rest of the gang in here? It's like, well, we'll write these.
Okay. So this rolls another mousetrap.
Right, exactly. And then Mary Lou Henner, she was big on TV at the time. She was in Taxi, I think, for the longest time. So she's just like a well-known babe. You got to throw in there. So,
yeah, you got to get as much celebrity into this Katamari ball as possible.
The celebrity skin Katamari ball. So
then you've got the sidekick looking into this and saying, "What is this sensation you main characters call love?"
I feel like that character could have been in this movie very easily. So they, I mean, from here, it's like we kind of see what everybody's gimmick's going to be. They got JJ and Victor are going to pretend to be military. So they're doing a stolen valor. They got a car that just says like nuclear tac team on the side of it. So they're like transporting a nuclear device.
I admire their enhanced scumbag willingness this go around. I think it's an important point of distinction.
Yeah. They push it pretty far past the line a few times too.
It is outright unacceptable, and I approve of that.
They're committing like treasonous acts. Like some of the shit they do probably is punishable by death, if I had to guess.
The second that they told a law enforcement officer that they were transporting nuclear material
across state
to be
lines,
let go from the other crimes that they're committing for that, I'm pretty sure that they just became permanent Fort Bragg occupants.
Well, it probably didn't help that shortly after enlisted man pulls up and they command him to come with them, so they're like in charge of an actual soldier and take him across state lines.
They get him on the treason too, and he'll have a proper court martial because he's actually in
they're gonna
death
kill
machine,
him.
So
they're gonna kill. It's Gomer Pyle. It's like they got Jim Nabors to be basically Gomer Pyle, who was another famous TV character, but he's Homer Lyle, I think, in this one.
Mm-hmm.
So so the Rat Pack are Sammy Davis and Dean Martin are police officers. They tried to be priests in the last movie and it didn't work out for them. So I will say,
they decided, it was cool, like tripping over the standards of God. But you know who really gets to do anything in America?
The motherfucking
the Fuzz.
Police. Yeah. And props to them for like toning down the racist jokes against Sammy Davis Jr. They kind of went a little hard with that in the first movie. So they mainly just kind of make fun of his height in this one.
Yeah, I think that they put a thermometer in that water and said, "Oh, this is hotter than we intended."
Yeah. So you were kind of off. We're finally off to the races. This is like halfway through the movie. Like this, it's taken this long to introduce all the characters, all the side plots, all the gimmicks, and now they're racing. So
yeah, it has had some real loading screen action in this movie so far.
Dude, so many loading screens. So yeah, we're just sort of cutting now between like the different racers and their little shenanigans. The mob continuously trying and failing to capture the Sheik. They got the claw car, rips the entire front half of their car off. Not just the bumper, the whole front half of their car gets ripped off. They learn how to fly.
Something in my very withered soul really does love the idea of the mob just trying out Acme tools in the situation.
They're a very lovable mob. They're sort of harmless in a fun way. They do have guns. They're threatening, but it's like they're using Acme shit, They got a giant magnet on the bottom of a helicopter. The magnet's too strong.
And it's important to me.
What's that?
It's important to me that they specifically have guns, that have been shown with guns.
Yeah.
And they say, bring out the claw machine.
Yeah. We don't want to kill this guy. We need a claw machine. I almost wish they showed them like unpacking an Acme box, because it just cuts to them and they're like giving their little device a once over. It's already installed, but it's like, where did you guys get that? Like, I want this to be the movie now.
Yes, I need some data there. I really need to know if you IKEA instruction this thing together or if they send a guy with it.
So we go back. So the chimp's doing crazy things, like kind of shocking the world around it because people don't expect to see a chimp driving, and it makes an old lady crash.
The chimp is kind of doing one crazy thing, which is really just handing out beatings.
Yeah. Just this chimp cannot be contained. It's a maniac. They try to give a banana, it throws the banana. Every time it encounters a human head, it slaps it. Like, I don't know how you train it to like not slap someone's head clean off. Like, that's what it wants to do.
And again, I keep wondering, was this cast bigger? Was it more star-studded? Did we lose our key cameo to just a real chimp uppercut?
Yeah, we need to do a cross-reference on celebrity deaths that year and this movie. There is one line here I like, because Victor and JJ are sort of mortal enemies with Sammy Davis Jr. and Dean Martin. They're always one-up at each other. They're always like trying to, in the first movie, this is a racist thing that happens. Burt Reynolds like gets the local cops onto their case by saying something about how it's a black guy. And they're like, we hate those. And so he like literally puts Sammy Davis Jr. life in danger. So in this one, they do kind of the same thing.
I guess Sammy was really inspired by that near-death experience to seize that flame for himself.
And to
the whole thing between them, it's almost like a prank war, which ends where all good prank wars do, which is attempted murder.
A lynching, yeah. So they do sort of a similar thing here, where since he's military, he's like, I also keep an eye out on two men disguised as police officers. They're actually commies. And since they're dressed as cops, they have a police scanner, so they hear the APB. And Dean Martin goes, I've been called a lot of things, but never been called a commie. And he's like, I'm not even a Democrat. I was like, wow, I remember that line. What a timely joke. Yeah. I guess it never gets old.
Isn't it crazy how the world has changed so much since then?
Yeah, it's kind of rough. It's kind of rough to watch these movies and be like, this. You get a lot of people, usually people like on a certain side of the spectrum, be like, they would never make a movie like this today. People are just too sensitive. I'm like, nothing's changed, man. I get it. I get what you're saying.
I don't know which Eden of social progress you are making the statement from. Right. Nothing has changed yet.
You could absolutely make this movie today, untouched. You could just have the same script in there. It's totally fine. There's a nice little callback to the first movie, because the finale in the first movie was that one of the racers was being accosted by a biker gang. So all the other all the cannonballs.
Oh, right. Cannonballers, they call themselves?
Yeah, cannonballers get together to save this guy from the biker gang. And so there's another biker gang, but it's just Jackie Chan. And they're terrorizing like a Chinese immigrant fruit stand. And he goes and just fucking destroys the whole gang. It's just total like segue. It's almost like a loading screen, like you said. There's no reason for this.
And halfway through it, he catches like the horny virus, and for this version of people getting Jackie Chan, his version of carrying the ladder, she's just hitting on someone the entire time.
Yeah, he just he murders a guy and then turns around and just keeps conversing with this like the cute daughter of the fruit stand owners. Richard Kiel is over there eating a watermelon. He's just scooping the brains out of this watermelon by hand. Jackie Chan split in half for him with his karate. Because as you know, in the 80s, if you were a karate man, you just did everything with chops. Like
the ongoing gag of him having just generally no fear that anything's going to go wrong for either of them. Kind of. Yeah. It is amusing. It's like he's sort of walking through this movie in no clip mode.
Yeah. He is. He's like, Jackie's got this. He's like, I need your help. He's like, what? There's only 10 of them. But it's just a weird segue, because it's like, yes, you got Jackie Chan, so for sure have him kung fu fight guys. But also, like, their bit is sort of the car. We see them levitate to get out of harm's way from the police chasing them. We've seen them now at this point turn into a submarine, kill a couple of fishermen. Those guys definitely died.
It does feel very strange how much time with them is not dedicated to this borderline Knight Rider like Apollo 13 thing they've built.
Yeah, because the whole point of them in the first movie was to show the superiority of the Mitsubishi name. They're bringing in a superior product that could do anything, and it's like they're going to win the race with this.
And now I guess this corporation they've done dumber things for like a stray $1 million, but
yeah,
I don't think Mitsubishi is hard up for this money.
I feel like this car probably cost at least $1 million. I think they're fine.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the mob eventually gets the Sheik. They finally honeypot him. They throw a scantily clad woman. This is as close to TNA as we're gonna get. It's like she's got pasties on. I remember this being a very big deal for me as a kid because that was like almost a whole titty, and I was very much excited about that.
Did you just hear like 1,000 miles in your head as you saw that just like outline of a breast?
Yes.
The impression of a boob?
Absolutely. They do linger on it too. They bring it close up and they go down her belly, and I'm like, okay, you got a decent amount of skin going on here, getting some glamour shots. This is the moment you were talking about. The Sheik pulls over to talk to her, and the mob comes up, puts a gun to his head. He's like, "How dare you!" And the white slave gets out. And he just moves the gun
this
over.
gag.
Yeah. And it's great.
I had a lot of love for that. It's something a brick joke slapstick occupy as a. I have a simple heart, and all of the degrees and stuff are just mirrors and misdirection. For things like I'm really just here for the Jackie Chan kicks and gun pointing at secretaries of the world, you know?
Yeah, and then hopefully some racing, but no. There are some good driving stunts in this movie, I will say. Like Hal Needham is the director of this, is like one of the most legendary stuntmen. Like his wiki is just the amount of bones he's broken, like which bones. Like the dude is like knows what he's doing, you know. So he does have some fun with some cars, but he kind of
That's really cool. I don't think I've heard of. I mean, I'm sure it's happened more, but I don't think I've heard of many just stuntmen crossing over to directing.
I think the only one really that I can think of contemporary terms is the John Wick director. He was a stunt choreographer.
I had no idea. That's super cool. One of the stunt women from I guess I think she's in all four actually, but she also acts in these baby assassin movies I have this fixation on. But that's a whole other spiral, so we'll get that in the middle of our pure racing zone here.
Right.
But yeah, unfortunately, money is not enough to keep the Sheik from facing the echo, the shade, the after image of a consequence.
Right. Which ends up being, again, just nothing. So word gets out that he's been kidnapped. So there is no race without the Sheik because he's got the prize money. So they all rally. They come up with a plan to infiltrate the Pinto Ranch, which is Don's sort of money pit of a business, which is why he owes Telly Savalas money. It's fucking, it's whatever. So their plan, they go to Frank Sinatra for this plan, and
you can just feel the shoehorn physically hitting the outline of the script.
Yeah. And we get another moment here of, what are you trying to say? Like, he's like, no, sir, we're cannonballers. And he goes, oh, fellas. I mean, sometimes even I get lonely, but he's like, no. We race cars across country. So it's like, what is a cannonballer supposed to be in that context? Like, is it just...
It's like someone just says a string of words.
Yeah.
And then someone else just inserts like the homophobic
That's
energy
gay,
into
bro.
it.
I don't know what you just said. But since I don't know what it is, it must be gay.
I wanted a McChicken.
Yeah. A McChicken, bro. Any port in a storm, I guess, but come on.
I said it's Wednesday. Wednesday. Okay, man. Okay.
The gay day of the week? Is that what you're talking about? Who else likes being in the middle? So his big plan is to sneak them into Pinto Ranch under the guise of an act that Don wanted to steal from Frank Sinatra, which is belly dancer girls. And so it's
they're in the middle of this whole Scooby-Doo, guys with the belly dancers bit, and I am wondering why you have stopped my racing for this.
Yeah. Why are we not racing?
We've got to one song.
Because it's a madcap comedy, and if there's one thing that these guys from this era like, it's cross-dressing. Like, there's got to be a bit where like one of the big burly dudes puts on some feminine clothes, and it's Burt Reynolds, Sammy Davis Jr., and Dom DeLuise. Something imprinted on this entire age bracket. Like, they had that whole video where Giuliani and the Dark Lord or even do it for some gala, and that's wonder. There's just everyone above a certain income of this age have that footage. Like, they just have the cross-dressing sketch. I guess so, yeah.
I think you need to do it to graduate college.
Yeah.
At this time,
I think there was like
it's like cursive.
Before Dave Chappelle decided to become the Dave Chappelle of today, he did a lot of like speaking out against Hollywood. I mean, that's kind of why part of the reason why he like moved to Africa and quit the Chappelle show. But he was talking about this movie he was in. I don't remember which movie it was. I'd seen it, but it was like a Martin Lawrence movie where they were like bank robbers.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, there's a scene where like, he's like the producer went in the trailer with the writer and they came out and they're like, Dave, we've got a great punch up here. You're going to dress in women's clothes. And he's like, well, I don't want to do that. Why? He's like, no, you got to do it. He's like, so his conspiracy theory was that like, they were always trying to emasculate black men by making them wear drag. It was like he became this fucking point of contention where like everyone was like, why are you being so difficult, Dave? It's a great bit. Why don't you want to do it? He's like, well, now I'm definitely not comfortable doing it. You guys,
Dave, this is the soul of the movie.
Yeah.
We just found it. Drunk off our ass in the back.
But yeah,
let's get some. Yeah.
But my counterpoint to Dave would be like, Dave,
crossing.
Calm down. Stop being. Maybe you're being a little self-centered. Everybody literally does this. Like we got Burt Reynolds and Dom DeLuise doing it, and they probably elected to do it themselves. They're like, you know what this movie needs? Less racing, more me in a dress. Let's go, motherfuckers.
Is there a way we can get me in a dress into the racing?
Yeah, they didn't quite make. They clearly had like a compromise on that one. But so yeah, this is their plan to get inside Pinto Ranch. Once they're in there, they perform. There's this big joke about how ugly they are. Don Don's too afraid to not hire them because he thinks they're Frank Sinatra's crew, and he's like the ultimate badass in the movie. Like there's a lot of like tiers of people who are afraid of other people, but Frank is at the top, and he's Frank Sinatra. Like Sammy Davis Jr. and Dean Martin are other characters, but Frank is Frank, which is weird because if he's Frank Sinatra, there is a Rat Pack somewhere.
Shao Kahn here.
Yeah, he's the Shao Kahn. Yeah, so.
You race at my pleasure.
So they get the money through this little scheme, but then they get caught trying to take the money. So now there's just a huge fight scene. The rest of the cannonballers bust into the place, and there's just a big battle royale with some funny shit going on here. Captain Chaos shows back up, and he's invincible. Like he could take on full-blown blunt force trauma and just laugh it off. Like he actually has power. As Captain Chaos.
Captain Chaos tells me that the best thing I could do for my life today would be to develop a extremely medically concerning alter ego.
Yeah. It's like
it just
the movie
seems to
Split. The movie Split does that too. That guy actually has like gorilla strength when he's in that form.
Yeah, they have gorilla strength. They have different pools of information. You can make alter egos just have degrees that you do not have.
Right. You go for like Severance kind of thing.
Yeah, because I never had a goal to be a doctor, but I would never say no to just med school downloaded to a corner of my brain, a little dual boot.
That you could like summon with a
case of car
trigger
crash.
word or something.
I think I'll make my trigger word copay.
Copay, there it is. You have awakened my great mind. So in this fight, we also see Richard Kiel. We alluded to this earlier, but he literally does throw a guy into the sky, and we don't see him come back down. So he's still going as far as we're concerned. He might be in orbit.
Yeah, I think he's sort of like one of those probes that we sent out to, explore parts unknown, take nice photos.
Yeah. He's doing he's paying it back.
And he's just there thinking, maybe I don't know, they said I was elder gods. If I tried to fight Frank, I wouldn't be in space at least,
I'll go for Frank next time. Keep that in mind. And then
I get the do-over.
He's like Megatron about to face fucking Unicron.
Just boinks off his shoulder.
Yeah, why have you
see
awakened me? So yeah,
I think that's what get the Transformers the Eisner last year was that scene where a stray human from Cannonball Run 2 bounced off Unicron's shoulder.
The crossover we didn't know we needed. You thought G.I. Joe and Transformers was the shit, the end all be all? Nah. What about Tony Danza and Transformers? Tony Danza is a thing here that really makes me worried about myself as like a former New Yorker. Like they're fighting and he goes, reminds me of Brooklyn. It's like, okay, like, because there's fighting. You don't think anybody fights anywhere? Dude, have you been to the South? Like, what are you talking? Shut up, New York
It's
guy.
like, dude, were fisticuffs invented in one of the West Side Story remakes?
Yeah. It's like you're in the middle of the desert fighting like Telly Savalas. Like, I don't know. It's just something I consciously try not to be. I catch myself sometimes be like, in New York we got a thing called bodegas. When you go to a bodega, it's like it's different.
Listen. I know that the light of civilization has not graced you here in San Francisco.
Yeah.
But over in New York, we got the whole media thing going on.
Yeah. We had Total Request Live. We don't anymore, but we did. So we get actually my favorite thing ever. This is like a hot dog move. The Cannonball Run theme song, expository theme song comes back, but it's entirely in Spanish, and I don't know why, but it's great. It's like
I have infinite questions about why it's all in Spanish. I don't think either of the gangs was the second gang.
No Spanish. They were on a Pinto Ranch in Las Vegas. It's just a cool thing they thought to do, I guess. The same
Why
reason
not?
like
Why
Robert
not?
wrote me and was like, can we get a German version of the Dog Zone theme song? I was like, for any reason? He's like, nope. I was like, sure. Done. I get it. I think I get it. But yeah,
I'm picking up
apropos
what you're
of
putting down. Yeah.
Yeah, apropos of nothing, we have a Spanish version of the Cannonball Run theme song now, and it's almost romantic. It's beautiful. There's nothing different about it. It's the same instrumental, but it's just Spanish.
It's just the same hype for some racing. And yeah, we get some symmetrical violence from the two nuns.
Yeah.
Who, but I think we skipped that they're called Betty and Veronica.
Oh, they are Betty and Veronica. Yeah, and they're sluts now. They revealed their true form, which is that they're not really nuns. They're actually a couple of sweet babes that are down to bone. So
they came out in those short shorts like they had emerged from a training montage in a martial arts film.
Yeah. Those shorts were tiny.
It
Shirley
was the
MacLaine
funniest.
had the short shorts on too. She was wearing like just a bathing suit bottom with like a shirt. She was showing some ace.
Yeah, there's some Dukes of Hazzard auditioning stuff going on here.
And she's like holding a thing of chili dogs, and like Burt Reynolds like really creepily like puts his hat under the tray and like lifts it up so he could look at her bottoms. I was like, it's he could get away with it just because that's who he is, but it's like really well executed. But it's like also just the creepiest creep move of all time.
Absolutely, I see that, and I think, I wonder if there is another combination of faces and prior associations where you just don't get immediately tased after that.
Right. There's not. I mean, Pedro Pascal now, because he is like sort of a reincarnation of Burt Reynolds. Whenever I see Burt Reynolds now, I just kind of seeing Pedro Pascal in a weird way.
Do you think it's like a Lich King thing? There's always one, like the whole. There must always be a Lich King.
Yeah.
It
is a Lich King thing. He's consumed the soul of the original. Who knows? That may have been like the 10th Burt Reynolds that we were aware of. But yeah, he does.
Fair point. We need to like look at old photos or like old illuminated manuscripts, and there's just a thick mustache standing next to the saints.
Yeah, they're like, wait a minute, it is Vlad. No, it's I guess so. Yeah, this is where like this is the end of the film. There's like 10 minutes left in it, but now they all have to race. Now they got the Sheik back, they got the prize money back, they've resolved. Oh, there is like a weird button on this whole kidnapping thing where the Sheik, he just wants to buy everything. Every time he goes somewhere, he's like, I love this, I'll buy it. And so he buys the Pinto Ranch, and he's in business with Don now. So he's like free to go.
Oh yeah, he just buys out all the mobsters, and you get to know like, oh,
yeah.
Pointless.
Yeah. Everything's pointless. He just throws money at the problem, and it's all done. So they're all free to race. The prize money's now doubled. So now Frank Sinatra isn't on the race, and he brought his own car. This car he's driving was from his own personal collection.
Oh yeah. He has that like car you can select in the game after you've beaten the main Wacky Race campaign.
Yeah. He unlocked the real car. Yeah, he apparently had a lot of problems with this. He's like, why would I be in the race? Like, what do you mean? He's like, well, there's a start to the race. I'm just starting halfway through it. So how could I win? Like he was poking plot holes into this script, and he just eventually, I guess, just said, fuck it. Just, I'll do it. Who cares? Because really,
that
who
points
cares?
towards so many personal strengths and failing in such a small place that he just comes in and starts script doctoring this cameo.
Yeah. He really wanted nothing to do with it.
Hey, would my character do this?
Yeah. The only reason he was there is because Sammy and Dean and Sammy and Martin wouldn't shut up about how much fun the first one was. So he's like, all right, maybe I'll get in on this. But he showed up to get all his scenes done at the very first thing in the morning before anybody else was there. Like, he did not want to interact with anybody. And then he's poking holes in the script. Like, dude, come on. If you want to have the kind of fun the boys are talking about, you gotta like get in there. You gotta get your feet wet.
Yeah, you kind of gotta join the flow, join the tempo.
Yeah, you gotta watch Burt Reynolds and Dom DeLuise like piss themselves, making each other laugh. It's sort of, the race sort of resolves itself with the cartoon map that I mentioned earlier. It's like literally an animated map with a cartoon arrow just driving around the rest of the country, and then they all just pull in at the finish line.
And speaking of pointlessness, they throw it to the one option that could render as much pointless as possible. No growth, no lessons learned, no irony. It's the monkey.
The monkey won. That's his next racer. Like, the dad, Ricardo Montalban, shows back up and he's like, "You have lost again. You have one more race and you are out of the family line." And he's like, "Oh, we're going to do the race again, but I'm going to race with, I hired the winner of this race to be my pilot in the next one." And it cuts to the monkey and it gives Ricardo Montalban a big old kiss and roll credits on that. It's a fucking Bugs Bunny ending.
We clearly learned about sports cheating as a nation from the Sheik. Like, all this World Cup stuff. Yeah. We are trying to buy his strategies and it's just not yielding fruit.
It's like they forgot the part where it was a cartoon movie. Like, it's a lot less fun when there's no chimps involved.
When there's no chimps and just national dignity and, hold on, I'm just going to put a quarter in the jar over here. And Cannonball Run 2. So
Cannonball Run 2. So I didn't look into the timeline, but I feel there's outtakes in the credits, which I love. And I feel like Jackie Chan may have been inspired by Cannonball Run to do outtakes in his movies going forward, because this is a classic Jackie Chan thing.
Oh, that's a nice thread of continuity. I imagine, given his specific film journey, probably even appreciated the whole stuntman to director thing.
Yeah. And they treat his character with respect. There's a moment in the final fight where like Burt Reynolds and him interact, and he like taps Jackie on the shoulder, and Jackie like instinctively tries to backfist him, and he's like, "Whoa, no, Jackie, it's me, it's JJ." And he's like, they have a moment where they like high five and kick a guy together, and there's also other characters that when he speaks, they understand him. It's like Chewbacca. They're like, "Oh yeah, sure, I understand these sounds." Like Dom DeLuise is fluent in Cantonese.
There is nothing simpler than translating between English and Chinese.
Right.
Just
so easy. But yeah,
two languages that are gloves.
So I can't imagine this was an unpleasant experience for Jackie Chan. He was with like the biggest Hollywood stars at the time, with a character that wasn't the butt of any joke, really. He was just there to kick ass. Sure, he was like stereotyped in a lot of some unfortunate ways, but he was never like made fun of. So it's
the thing that comes out nice about his whole thing in this movie is that he's a character that is just bizarre instead of horrifying.
Right. And I like, so you see in these outtakes sort of Burt Reynolds and Dom DeLuise's rapport, and they seem very similar to just the characters they're playing here. Like, they have a lot of like good energy between them, but also it seems like Burt Reynolds may be a little bit of a bully in a way that's kind of fun, but like
it's kind of fun, but you might not hang out as much as you would otherwise.
Right.
If they didn't have
he
that
slaps Dom DeLuise several times that in a way that is not in the script. Like, he just full blown like open palm slaps him in the face for like making him laugh. It's just.
Hey Don, are you ready for our favorite joke? We're about to do it again.
Yeah. There's a bit where they're in Frank Sinatra's office, and Dom DeLuise keeps flubbing his lines, and he's like, "We'll start at the slap," and he slaps him in the chest, and they do it like 5 times. And it's like, I get their relationship is definitely like, it seems fun, and they play well off each other, but it also seems like there's definitely a power dynamic, which I guess just is a very Burt Reynolds thing.
Some real big brother, little brother kind of locker room thing.
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, that's it. That's Cannonball Run 2. Everyone is the same rotten grifter that they were at the start, and they all lose to a monkey.
about films, just like every other podcast out there. Let's talk about a movie, maybe something close to your heart. We can break it down and really celebrate the art. Maybe it's something stupid, but in a funny way. It doesn't really matter, I just wanna talk about movies every day. It's the planet of garbage, where we talk about films, just like every other podcast out there. If you've got any better ideas, I'm open to them. Until then, let's continue to drown in